Okay. So first of all, first cluster that we're dealing with here, these are finances, and these are very, very good financial cards. At the same time, what it deals with is some family property, it can be business with family members, or it can just be some real estate management family property coming through, okay? First off, we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is a card about generational wealth. This is a card about financial stability. A lot of you, this is something that you're thinking about. It's weighing heavily on your mind, and you're finding ways to achieve financial prosperity, not only for yourself, but for your family unit, for your extended family members, for your own nuclear families even. And it is especially prominent here because we do have as well the Six of Pentacles, which also indicates children, family wealth, wanting to create something of value and to leave a legacy for your children, okay? So a lot of you are thinking long term at this present moment. You are thinking how you can direct or steer the direction of your life so that you can be able to achieve this. A lot of you also are thinking about, joining assets together, potentially with a business partner or a romantic relationship partner. One of you might be, swimming in money. The other one might have half of that. So together, it's a tricky situation, and you have to find ways to get around this. But I do feel, financial considerations are going to be very prominent this month. It looks very good. It looks very stable. The only thing is the 10 came out before the 6. So I'm going to say that there might be a lot of expenditures around the household, fixing up the household, making it comfortable, purchasing new items in order to make it a home. And as well, expenditures when it comes to children, okay? Enrolling them in lessons, doing all the extracurricular activities so that they have a good foundation. And I feel that it is really important for you to do what you can. Children, it's nice to cultivate their skills. It definitely is. But I feel like that can be done cheaply, and it can be also done within the home. All right. So I feel like for a lot of you too, family members might come to you to ask for money, or to even, there might be some financial worries. You're asking family members for money or for a loan, or they likewise will come to you. I don't feel so much financial institutions, but the Six of Pentacles usually indicates a financial windfall as well. And this is, asking for loans for a business, for a startup, for some type of projects that you're planning to do. It looks very favorable, okay? It looks very favorable. I would say branch out in the direction that you want to look. Look at small banks, small micro, like credit unions, as well as big financial institutions as well. I feel like the smaller route is going to be more favorable for you for some reason, like small micro finance institutions or even credit unions, all right? The next cluster that is coming through here is the Sun and the Judgment card. You have a new beginning coming through, and this is related to success. This is the Sun card. It indicates like the public image that you project out into the world. I feel like in March, we also are dealing with the spring equinox, and it is a really major, powerful energy that heralds a new beginning in our lives. And also, Pisces, I forgot, I want to wish you all a very happy birthday as well. So going back to this image, I feel that it is, indicative of a solar return type of energy where you are going to be able to achieve a lot of success. You have a path to head towards. And I feel that it means closing some doors in order for these things to happen. It means taking care and making sure your financial foundation is rooted. It means, donating all the stuff that you don't use, moving property, moving houses, looking for a new place, potentially starting a new job where you are going to be in a more public capacity, where you're going to be in the spotlight. Something is being shown on you, like I feel like a spotlight being shown on you. And a lot of the times it means, with the Judgment card, it's basically the day of reckoning. So if you think about it, it's sort of like a reassessment, where am I? Who am I? What do I want to do? Am I really happy with the way my life is right now? If I'm not happy, what can I change about my life? So there is a sweeping, transformative energy coming through that is making you questions these really deep, existential, but also philosophical, but also long-term types of questions regarding, your life path, regarding what you need to be successful. So I feel like it's more career, public image, success oriented. And it is also through family that you are going to achieve some types of blessings, some types of help. Okay. For a lot of you, there might just be dividing up assets between members of the family. And it's going to be finalized this month, I feel. So it's bringing in financial windfall and also a new lease on life is what I'm sensing here. So the next cluster that we're dealing with is once again some type of conflict. And I feel that for a lot of you, it is playing out in the work environment because of the Pentacles energy. So the Two of Pentacles is juggling your finances. This is trying to get by and trying to assess if you have enough in order to do something. I do feel that behind you, we have the Five of Wands, which is a conflict card. For those of you who are dealing with estate planning, who might have like somebody who might have inherited something, I feel like the asset that you inherited might be divided up between multiple people, siblings, family members, things like that, people in your environment even. And there's a little bit of contentiousness around it because I feel like there's competition. Okay, there's competition and there's also multiple parties involved. And I'm reading this more in a financial way, not so much related to love, although we're going to do the love reading next and see if that same energy pops up. But I do feel either way, this is a conflictual disagreements and things like that, but I don't feel that it's harsh. It's not a physical battle. This is more competition and it's a playful energy. And it's not harsh in the way that the Five of Swords is harsh. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I definitely feel you're getting a lot of information from people and, people around you might be combative and they're like, he said this, she said this, and you're trying to get an unbiased version of the story. And at the same time, you have a lot of things that you're dealing with and you don't really want to get involved. So I feel that you are potentially on the sidelines. You're a peace-loving sign. And when people around you are fighting, and especially people that you care about, and they're fighting each other, you just, it makes you feel emotionally destabilized. So even though you might not be involved in this conflict, I feel like it does emotionally destabilize you. Well, the advice here is you've got a lot on your plate. And there's no need for you to get involved, okay? So don't let somebody else's problem, messes, and conflict create emotional turmoil within you. Get yourself a little bit more grounded this month, okay, Pisces? Next cluster that we're dealing with movement. So this is moving house. And this is also, letting the conflict behind. So I mentioned closing some doors for good. And, sometimes we have to close those doors to protect ourselves because I feel like if you're feeling financially destabilized or emotionally destabilized as a result of this Two of Pentacles energy, you are going to have to take a break, close those doors for good, or take a break, come back to it when you're in a better state of frame of mind, when you're able to objectively assess and hear both sides of the story. So I feel like the ends of cycles are coming through for you. And I actually would prefer it if these 10s came out before the Judgment card. But I feel that the Judgment card is more about, is linked up with how we see ourselves, our sense of what we deserve, getting what we deserve, and demanding what we deserve. So the Judgment card is bringing in this new sense of self-awareness. It brings about a new sense of self-confidence, not settling for less anymore. So I feel like for those of you who have been going through problematic situations where you were too nice or where you were like being trampled on and you don't really stand up for yourself, all of that is coming to an end because I feel that by this point, who your friends are. And you also know, I need to close some doors on some people. I need to lock some people out. I need to physically change my environment and invite in better energies. So I can't go back and do things the way I've been doing because it's laden with financial worries. It's laden with conflict within family units. So a lot of you might be moving to a new property. A lot of you might have accumulated enough wealth and you're moving to a place, you're possibly moving in with new family members who are going to provide a lot of love, support, new structures for you. I also want to say that I feel it's a very business oriented type of month. It's public image, business, finances. And those are the three major things that I'm sensing will be conflictual for this month. Love relationships, I'm not getting that too much. You have a lot on your plate and I feel like your attention is diverted elsewhere. But I definitely see some major movements happening for you. And, sometimes it feels like we want to be proactive and we want to take the preemptive strike and walk away. But I feel because you're a water sign, you've been hesitating. You know it wasn't good for you and you've been hesitating for quite some time and now you're kind of being pushed away from it, possibly against your will, but now you can't go back to it because you know that, oh, well, I've been waiting for such a long time. I should have done something sooner, but now that, it's the end of the line, I actually have no choice. So you're moving forward and I feel that both of these cards are indicative of endings, okay? Major endings when it comes to possibly business deals, major endings when it comes to reassessing some of the people that you have in your life and figuring out that, perhaps they did not have your best interests at heart. And it is important to ally yourself with people who care about you. So I feel like you know who your friends are, you know who your foes are, which is great. So let's leave it there and let's look at your advice. All right, so in terms of the advice, this is where you're supposed to be headed, okay? So keep that in mind. First of all, there is a fire energy, a very strong fire sign in your midst. And the fire sign is Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And there is a sense of separation with this person. We do have the Three of Swords here. So I definitely feel for a lot of you, you are not going to have a choice and you are going to have to close some doors. And it's interesting, the Five of Wands, it's a Wands energy, it's a fire energy. It deals with conflict. We do have like a very conflictual person energy in your midst. They themselves might not be combative, but together, I feel like because you're a water sign, they're a fire sign, ideologically and philosophically, you don't mesh very well. I do feel that. I feel like there is a cunning energy. Somebody might be very self-absorbed, might be very self-serving. And I feel like a lot of the times you might intuitively sense it, but this is the month in which you feel it. You feel that, wow, they're individualistic and they're not working as a team player. I feel like that's what's happening here. And it's kind of like, what do I get out of this? The energy can flow both ways. So I feel like there has to be some type of separation, distance coming through in order for you both to disengage from the conflict and to reapproach this situation in the future when you both are, you both have enough distance and objectivity between the two of you. And you can come back together and resolve this in a more, I would say, productive manner, because you're working at cross purposes with one another right now. And I feel like that person has a very strong personality and they are very, they're very like, they're taking more of a moral high ground. I also feel there's a lot of, energies that is steeped in family traditions. This is like somebody who might be I almost feel like dogmatic. And keep in mind, I don't read reversals, and the traditional meaning from the Rider-Waite deck is not going to apply here. But I definitely feel that this is somebody who is very strong-minded, possibly very stubborn. But I feel like there is a sense of like possibly even conservativeness or even dogmaticness about them, where they're stickler for rules. And I feel like that's what you're getting here. And you want a little bit more free-flowing energy. And I feel separation with a fire sign. And the cups energy here, the Four of Cups, indicates you. I feel that for a lot of you, you miss this person. You really, really miss this person. The separation might have happened within the past 6 months, within the past 3 months. There might have been a lot of conflict, and it was just, inevitable. But I feel like you were dragging your feet, and, things had to be done. But you were possibly dragging your feet, and the longer you drag your feet, the harder it is for you to move on. And I feel like that's what's happening here. I still feel some type of long distance, internet-based communication coming through. But I don't feel that you're seeing them in person. But I feel that you're missing the person. You want them to be in your life. You wish things were different. You're pining for the past. You wish things were different. But I feel like for this month, Pisces, you are going to get a lot of support from your family unit. You are going to get a lot of support from, I feel more of the paternal side of the family, relatives, friends, and, just relatives from the paternal side of the family. I feel like family is going to be the major catalyst for change and for restoring your faith and for making you feel quite good and confident about your course of actions. So for a lot of you, if you're going through separation, divorces, endings of relationships as well, business partnerships or love relationships, you're trying to get other people from your family for advice. You're coming to them for advice and you're asking them, what should I do? And the answer actually lies within, because your family, they're going to be supportive no matter what you decide to do. But I feel that some members of the family, especially the old generations, are just like, no, stay together, make things work because that's how we do it. And the young people are just like, well, there's a lot of conflict and there's a lot of imbalances within that relationship. So maybe you should let it go. So you're getting, this generational divide, and you're getting advice from people who are biased based on their own life experiences and the way they look at the world and the way they see relationships. So the answer does lie within, Pisces, but I feel that there is still, you're pining for something from the past, and you can't go back to it. And I feel like the finality is starting to hit, that whole sense of, I can't go back. I have to move on. And I feel like you have to do the whole mourning process, okay? You have to come to the acceptance stage so that you can move on.